when she hit me like I be like, why you so fine?
Indeed, it is my singular honor and privilege this afternoon to warmly welcome all of you to the 2025 Nile University of Nigeria Career Fair, which actually is intended to help our students take control of their future. For you to meaningfully take control of your future, you require adequate preparation, adequate mentorship, guidance, counseling, including appropriate skills. Therefore, Nile University over the years have invested heavily in way and means of creating employability and make everybody who passes through the four corners of Nile University not just employable, but employers of labor.
I'd like to bring to your consciousness the fact that in life there are lots of things that we can change. You can change your name, you can change your car, you can change your house, and more importantly, if relationships are not working, you can change your partner. But one thing you can't really change is the degree qualification that you have when you leave this institution. So if you have a BSc in computer science, it's a BSc in computer science. The world of work is fast-paced. The evolution is becoming extremely dynamic. We have subjects such as artificial intelligence, the future of work. One thing I want you to all remember is that it's very important that you begin to build the skill sets, the competencies and the abilities that will help you integrate seamlessly into this environment.
The theme of this panel discussion is navigating change, leading innovation, and thriving in a multi-generational workforce.
My key talking points were focused around the areas of how young people can thrive in the ever-changing world of work.
How do I develop a growth mindset? You may have competency, but if you don't have the right attitude, you're going to struggle in the role. What employers are actually looking for is a blend of the two. You must have the knowledge, but you must also have the attitude. And for a university like Nile that prioritizes employability, there are programs that will guide you in that regard.
One of the key things I said was important for us to be adaptable. It's also very critical for you to have clarity on what you want to do. One thing that worked very well for me from the very beginning was having clarity on what I wanted to do, what we want to do in the long term. By now, you should be working towards your future career. I was very excited to see when we went into Nile House that you already have a partnership with ACCA, for instance. I heard your Vice Chancellor speak to the fact that from 100 level, some people already completed certain parts of the ACCA. So you must be able to adapt. You must have full clarity on what you want to do. You must network and be intentional about seeking out mentors who would help you on your career journey and even life journey in general.
Students wanted to know how they can be themselves in the workplace, right? The whole idea of creativity, the whole idea of being unique, right? And what I told them essentially, and I think it was echoed by panelists, was creating value first.
So if you're trying to play in the big leagues, it makes sense that you want to get ready to play in that league. Essentially around what are these companies looking for and how do I position myself to be very visible to them. And usually the people that we eventually end up hiring, to use the example of recent graduates or campus hires, have spent somewhere between 3 to 4 years essentially preparing for their first interview. I would share what I told the students yesterday in class, what we look for when we are reviewing CVs. I call them the 3 E's. It's education, experience, and extracurricular.
So one of the questions I was asked is, how as a woman have I survived in a male-dominated finance industry? So I shared 2 things. Number one is adaptability, and that is the fact that a lot of us are living in university now. The skills that you've learned, the course you've done in university, is not so. It might not take you so far. There's a need to continue to learn and unlearn and adapt. Take more courses, add more degrees to what you're doing, so that you can improve your skills because the world is changing. I stumbled on the CFA materials. I looked at the materials and I enjoyed it. And I decided to enroll for the CFA exam. So resilience for me, working in a male-dominated area, is critical. The position I'm in today as the CEO of one of the largest asset management companies in Nigeria is largely because I have a CFA. You have to keep learning and relearning. You have to be adaptable, be agile, in order to survive in a dynamic world like the finance industry?
First, discover yourself. It's very important to know what you have to sell, and that comes by self-exploration and discovery. We speak about passion a lot of times on the favorable side. We don't speak about passion on the sacrificial side. There are sacrifices attached to passion. So make the most of what you have today. Make the most of things within your control. We like seeing the end result. We don't like seeing the journey.
Why you so fine?
My experience here at the career fair has been enlightening and very eye-opening.
I felt today was very insightful, especially the talks, especially the questions that were being asked. They were extremely intelligent questions.
Well, it was actually Mr. Kingsley. Well, he described how tough it can be in a work environment, especially with how works can actually target you left and right. But the key takeaway was more of how to actually prosper and do well in this environment.
Mr. Olusegun, like he says, I should be more focused on the 3 E's so I can get more opportunities in life, which are education, experience, and extracurriculum.
So there were a few companies that piqued my interest. The first would be BCG Consulting, then a media group called Raven, Providence Bank as well, and Simpleton Consulting.
The head of McKinsey, that's Mr. Olusegun. I feel like he's someone that looks very creative, and especially his takeaways on reading and public speaking. When he gave a book, one of my favorite books, that was Outliers, he mentioned something about the 10,000 hours rules. The 10,000 hours rules of putting in the effort and putting on so much effort and one day to pay off.
Oh yes, Hawaii Technologies. I just like how they are moving forward nowadays, and I always buy their products, their phones, their smartwatch, and everything. And Ari Labs is an upcoming agency, but I really think it has potential. I want to get a job inside, but it was very nice to experience, these interactions.
I had the opportunity to interact with Coca-Cola, BCG, and Simpleton Consulting. These 3 companies that were present at the career fair stood out to me. One, because of how they're able to interact with the students, communicate what they offered, what they did not offer. Particularly BCG, what really drew me to them was the fact they had a young representative, someone that is probably in the same age group as me, but someone I could relate to.
I am super happy, grateful to Nile University. This is the second career fair I'm coming to, and this one is way better than last year's. So I'm super grateful that they keep putting platforms like this for students, to learn about their career, learn how they can grow and expand their professional network.
I'm so grateful to Nile University for this opportunity, this career fair. As a 100-level student, I'm looking forward to seeing more and attending more career fairs.
I am sincerely grateful to Nile University for the privileges and for the opportunities that they provide to us, because these skills are very necessary. These services or the opportunity that they provide to us are very necessary, especially for us that are about to enter, us growing out into the workplace, us that are about to integrate or join the market space. So it's very important, and yeah, I'm very grateful and acknowledge the privileges that we have here at Nile. Thank you so much, Nile University.
Why you so fine?
I think Nile University once again is doing something that I consider as very commendable. This is the 3rd time I am having an engagement in the university, and every time I must say that I am wowed. From the convocation ceremonies to the final year preparatory periods that you see them organizing for those who are about to graduate. And even now, look at this career fair. It looks like a big finale. And I think that for the university, they should continue to do the good job. We hope that we can get more universities like this that are prioritizing education for impact.
This is a very beautiful and also very interesting platform, and kudos to the Nile University team, the leadership of Nile University. And in the course of the program, we've also seen a lot of the things they are doing, to build the extracurricular aspect of the student in university, because at the end of the day, it's one thing to have an education in a particular area, but it's also important for them to have robust experience in other areas. And I think that the school is doing so well in that regard. So kudos to the leadership of Nile University.
I would say don't rest on your laurels. This is great being annual, but it can be also quarterly, right? I hear that that's already happening already in the business school and even for the alumni as well. But this can be continuously.
The future is bright. The future that is optimized is always a collaborative future. When we come together, we put heads together, that means we are having tangible outcomes. The university is where we have the gown. the marketplace is where we have the town. So the gown and the town are coming together, and as we are training people here, we are having a good outcome for them in the marketplace as well.
You are equipping the total person. So you are not interested in them just graduating, but you are interested in their future. And I see this intentionality, I recognize it, and I would say that it's also very laudable. It's interesting that beyond bringing us to come and share from our wealth of experience, as well as give us the opportunity to interact with bright, young and intelligent minds, you have also taken it a notch further. You are supporting them to optimize LinkedIn pages, you are supporting them with CV optimization, and you're also supporting them with LinkedIn headshots. This, I would say, is a luxury in this day because people pay huge sums of money for doing this, and people also charge for this service. But as a university, you are investing in building the total individual beyond being a student of Nile University. So I say thank you for this laudable initiative. Do not rest on your hours. Continue to do this and more for your students, and they would never forget. Just see it as a legacy that Nile wants to leave behind for the students.
Let me appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for showing up. Our panelists, we quite appreciate you. Thank you so much for engaging with our students so intelligently and brilliantly. I would like to appreciate the management of Honoris United Universities and Nile University of Nigeria for always providing us with the resources that we require to be able to bring this thing to life. We appreciate you. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. See you next year. Nile University Career Fair.